Hi you guys, welcome back. So today we're going to talk about how manifesting money is easy when you know that you are source. Okay, so this has been like something I've been talking about on my TikTok lately, and I used to be someone who stressed over money like crazy. Okay, I was that person. Okay, so if you're listening to this video, you are not alone. From my human character's perspective, I had money blocks. Okay, I stressed about money all the time. I felt like there was never enough, no matter how much I had. I always spent money from a sense of like tightness, from a sense of dread, from what else? It was just a lot, okay? And that came from my state of being. I was always unconsciously identifying as someone who was stressing over money. No matter how much I affirmed, no matter how much I scripted, no matter how much I tried telling myself, I am a wealthy woman, or whatever. No matter how much I tried to tell myself that, I would revert back to that old identity. When it was time for money to be spent, I would freeze. Okay, even if I would spend the money, I will always have these ruminating stories, constantly telling me like, oh, you're not gonna get that back. You're gonna have to work hard for it. You don't know when you're gonna see a large sum of money again, things of that nature. So once I started standing in my identity as source, okay, because for my human character, I needed to work on my self-concept around money. I needed to work on my money blocks. I needed to reprogram my subconscious mind for wealth and success, okay? And now that I stand in my identity as source, those things don't exist. I don't have money blocks. I don't have limiting beliefs around money. I don't have a low self-concept around money. Money is just perfect for me. When I perceive it as God, it's just perfect. Not perfect for me, but it's perfect. There's no story behind it. There's no meaning I'm adding to it when I remember my true identity. So once I started standing in my identity as source, that's when money started flowing in effortlessly, okay, without me having to do anything. And I'm not saying it's like you just sit there and not, because sometimes you can just sit there and receive money. But I'm saying like, it doesn't mean you're just like sitting there and just like not doing anything, not creating nothing. It doesn't mean that you just receive money from an effortless place. You receive money from a space of, pleasure. You spend money from pleasure. Like once you stand in your true identity as source, you spend money from pleasure, okay? Because you realize like, oh, I'm the source of money. It's constantly pouring into my life. Like, well, that's an I wouldn't say it's an affirmation because it's not something that I say constantly. It's just something that I know that money is constantly pouring into my life through multiple channels. Okay. From here, I just know money is showing up. I know not even just money, gifts, things being taken care of. I just know that it's done from here because I'm the source of money. But if I was still operating out of my human character, then of course, like money would be hard to manifest. It would be hard for me to even receive it. I will always question like, am I worthy of this? Like I talked about in my last video. My state always revealed the truth. Okay, so as a makeup artist, like earlier on in my journey, a client told me like, you have to stop shrinking yourself, basically shrinking yourself when you announce your prices, when you share your prices, when someone inquires. Okay, and I didn't even know that I was doing that, but of course it was my state, because when I look back, I can clearly see the stories that I was telling myself. Like, oh, you're not good enough. You have to work hard for money. No one is going to pay you that much. You know, no matter how talented I was at the time, I still felt like I was, you know, like I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I need to work hard. I need to be better, right? But now that I stand in my identity as God, it's like creating value is just something I know, something I just do, and I don't have to think twice about it, because it comes from this state, is this state of being. Okay, I know money is pouring into my life because that's just what I experienced from this state of being. But if I was still identifying as my human character, and I was talking about this on my TikTok live, how I don't know if I talked about it on here yet, I can't remember, but there's this show called The OA that I absolutely love, and they just need to come back out with a new season. But in the beginning of the series, it was basically about a girl who experienced a near-death experience, and she was kidnapped by someone, and you know, he held her hostage along with other people who had a near-death experience for like years, for like 7 years. Then she came back home. He like disposed her, came back home, and she, like, everyone was like, oh my gosh, Prairie. And there was a moment she had to herself, and she was like, your name is not Prairie, your name is the OA. Your name is not Prairie, your name is the OA. And the OA stands for the original angel. That's what she started identifying as. When she was Prairie, she had no power. She was a girl who had a hard life. Versus when she stood in her identity as the OA, she realized her power. She realized who she truly was. She realized that she was a very powerful woman who, you know, impacted other lives. Okay, so once you stand, just like once you stand, or just like everyone here who's watching, when you stand in your identity as God, you remember your power. And from there, you don't have to work hard for money. You don't have to do anything that does not feel good to you to receive money. You don't. You just remember who you truly are. And from there, you perceive money differently. Okay, so ask yourself, like, because someone had a success story. It was on, I'm always on TikTok. Someone had a success story. It was like around a rent situation. It was like thousands of dollars involved. And I told her, like, she asked me a question, and I shared with her, I can't remember the question, but I shared with her how she must remember that she is God first. Then from there, perceive the circumstance differently. So how would you know, or what would it be like to know that this situation was resolved as source? And then not even within 24 hours, she came back and told me, like, the situation was resolved. And she was like, thank you so much. So if you want to manifest money effortlessly in your reality, it is important that you stand in your identity as source. And from there, ask yourself, how would I perceive money as God? How would I spend money as God? And from there, you will, like, the answer will come to you. From there, you just naturally embody someone who knows that they are the source of money, and that money comes to them effortlessly. So if you are interested in working with me, purchasing any products that I have, like my ebook, Effortless Manifestation Secrets, or my masterclass, I'm gonna leave the link in the description, and I can't wait to see you guys the next time. Not see you guys, but yeah, I will talk to you guys the next time. And happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Love you guys. Bye.